with Global.Media.com. Every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com. Then celebrate it with or without champagne or
They are here. Hello. Right. Hello, everyone.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you. Welcome back to our Mentality Live edition. Today, we're talking about home ownership. We want to welcome everyone that's here. We do apologize for the late start due to unforeseen circumstances, but we made it. As our winning mentality is all about overcoming challenges. So we had a challenge today, but we're here and we are grateful. So we do have a special guest with us tonight. She's not only a friend of mine, but she's actually my realtor. With her education and training and experience, Vendela Bonner has proven herself to be an excellent realtor and team leader. She continuously delivers results that exceeds her clients' expectations. And one thing we have in common is that we have that drive to empower people to get to their next, whatever their next is. In her case, it's to own a home, to buy a home. Whether it is through mentorship or education, we love helping people get over to the other side. My husband and I met Vendela back in 2014 when we were tired of the renting thing. We were going from house to house. Well, actually, from apartment to apartment, we were renting for a while. And then when we met Vendela, she helped us get through the process we actually rented a house that she had for rent for about 6 years after we met her. She made the process seamlessly easy, and she made us feel so good. After the 6 years, we knew it was time for us to buy our own home because Vendela gave us everything that we needed. She took us along the journey and she showed us what position we need to be in before we can actually be ready for home ownership. So I am happy that she's here with us. She can't stay on for very long tonight, but she's going to share with us some tips and some resources that we can use if any of us here listen tonight is currently on that path to home ownership, or if it is a desire of yours as it was mine. So Vendela, welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. Oh, it was 6 years that you stayed in that rental property?
It was 6 long years, yes.
Wow. I had no idea, but it's good to know.
Yes, yes.
After 6 years, I didn't lose a client. That's interesting. That is interesting. So yeah, you said it perfectly. Homeownership is a significant milestone. And so there are key steps that you need to take towards financial stability, right? But we know it comes with a lot of challenges. So those challenges require a winning mentality to navigate. So if you remember when we talked earlier about renting, I was like, yeah, you have to rent for the moment, but here's the plan to move forward. And you stuck with that plan. And my God, 6 years, but you still got there. So we have to look at financial barriers because oftentimes that's the biggest challenge. Can we afford it, right? Saving for the down payment. Many struggles with accumulating enough savings. We talk about credit score and approval, right? Because the lenders have strict criterias, and a low credit score can lead to a very, very high interest rate or higher interest rates. And so there are also hidden costs, property taxes, maintenance, insurance, and unexpected repairs also can help strain the finances. So we can talk about also market condition. Sometimes it's just not the right time, right? High home prices in competitive markets. So affordability becomes a challenge. And so with rising interest rates as well, 2 years ago, we had very low interest rates. Fast forward to 2023, 2024, the interest rates were somewhere in the 8%. And people, they hold back because they're like, interest rates are too high. And then, they came back down. So all of those things are sometimes factors that cause people to deter from the process, but I know that it is important. Okay, homeownership ties you to one location, right? So making relocating sometimes harder. Maintaining the home, it requires time and all that, effort, money, and so overcoming the challenges, it's not easy. Okay, we sometimes have to budget and save aggressively for that, cut unnecessary expenses. So I usually tell clients to create a saving plan for your down payment, improve your credit score, right? Pay the bills on time, right? Reduce your debt, right? Um, Explore assistance programs. So there are first time home buyers programs that are available, and a lot of people don't know about these, right? I don't remember, Laverne, if we explored any first time home buyers programs in your situation, but they're out there, right? Um, we have to look at smart home buying strategies, right? When the interest rates and housing prices align with your budget, maybe that's when you need to make the move, right? So for me, when I talk to clients, I bring them in for an education session. It's called a home buyers consultation. It's a free session for 2 hours where I sit and I do an evaluation of your credit, and we talk about your assets and your liabilities and your employment to see that are you ready, or are there things that we need to do to get you ready? All right. What type of property do you need? What location are you looking to? Are you looking for schools? Are you looking near your job? Like, those things are important as well. And then planning for the long-term stability. My biggest thing about a property is I call it a piggy bank. A lot of people sometimes don't understand what I mean by that. So if you're constantly renting and you're paying the landlord, okay, the landlord is making money off you. They're taking that money, but where is that money going? In their pocket. The property and the mortgage could be your piggy bank. So sometimes people don't want to take mortgages because they're like, oh, it's too much interest rates and things like that. But where's that money? It's sitting in your home. Okay, you can pull out equity out of that property over time. You can relocate. I mean, there's just so much more. So planning for the long-term stability is ideal. Okay, think about the resale value. From personal experience, I can talk about resale value on properties. All right, my first property that I purchased, it's worth double. And I know that it's worth double because I did an appraisal recently, right? So equity is built in with home ownership. All right, so that's also important. Areas matter, all right? Making a larger down payment sometimes can help. Paying extra to reduce your principal. You can choose a shorter term loan, 15-year mortgage. So there's just so many different ways to do that. But in essence, there are a lot of benefits of home ownership. Okay, there are a lot of benefits. Financial security, you get borrowing power. I smile when I see credit cards requests start coming in my mail, because now that I'm a homeowner, they see that I'm capable because I've paid my mortgage over periods of time, and it helps with credit as well. So there are a lot of benefits that you can get through homeownership. And again, it comes with challenges, but you can overcome that. All of those financial challenges, it requires some discipline, strategic planning, but you need to have a winning mentality. All right. So the key to success is the preparation. You got to be persistent, and then you can help. It can help you to make thoughtful decision making. So I thank you for allowing me to come and share my thoughts on having a winning mentality about home ownership. And if you guys have any additional questions, I'll be here for another 10 minutes. I can answer them. If not, you can find Laverne. Is there any questions, guys, that you would like to throw in?
So, Vendela, I can ask a quick question. Now, in your experience or your years being a realtor, like, what do you think would be considered the biggest challenge for first-time home buyers? Or what's the biggest thing that you would think that keeps them back from becoming a homeowner?
Affordability.
Affordability.
Having enough money for their down payment, and then not having the correct information. A lot of people think that you need a 740 credit score in order to qualify for a mortgage. That's not the case. There are different types of mortgages. Matter of fact, FHA will give you a mortgage if you have a 500 credit score. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
A lot of people think you need to have tip-top credit 700s before. I have clients who call me and say, I want to rent something. I have $1,000. I look at their credit score and I said, well, why don't you purchase? You're like, I only have $1,000. They're homeowners today, right? So maybe we have to plan, strategize for what can we do? Give funds from family members. Sometimes they have family members that will help them, but they don't know that they can use the money. So again, not having enough resources and then not enough information, I think, is the challenge that a lot of people are faced.
Well, there's more questions in the comments. So give me a second. Michael, of course I see you, so I'm going to come to you first in 1 second. So Michelle, my favorite Michelles are here. That cheers me up.
Okay,
Michelle B, thank you for both being here. Thanks for commenting as well. If you're here, drop us a comment, please. We won't know you're here otherwise, and I can't welcome you if I don't know you're here, right? So Christy, welcome. Glad you're here, Christy. So Michelle's got a good question. It says, what's the highest percentage to go with in terms of buying a property? Do you mean in terms of interest rates, or do you mean, I guess it must be interest rates, right?
Right. So the interest rate is going to depend on one's credit. I can speak about this because I just passed my exam yesterday to be a loan originator. So yeah, I'm so excited about that. That's one more thing that I'm adding to my list of things to do. But there's different scores that triggers your interest rate. So obviously, the better your credit score is likely you will get to be more competitive in the rates that is offered to you. So it's not a one size fits all kind of deal when we talk about interest rate. Also, what's the going rate in the market, right? Interest rates go up and down depending on what the Fed decides to do. So it's kind of, it's a matter of looking at your situation individually and see where you're at, and have the lender process the application and look at your debt and your income to determine where you can be, the type of mortgage you'll qualify for, and things of that nature.
It's not rocket science. Maybe not many people know, but those who know me know. Lisa, I see you're here as well. Do I see you in the comments? Yeah, my beloved Lisa, my favorite Lisa in the whole world. She's here as well. She talks menopause and holistic health and wellness. She's a genius. So welcome,
Yeah.
Lisa. Linda, I see you as well. I don't know how I missed you was last time around. I'm glad you're both here. And I say, no, my good friends are here. There's one more, Laverne. I wonder if it was one of your Alex Russell. Do you know Alex?
So yeah, Alex is there. Alex is my admin. I asked him to join.
Welcome, Alex. I'm grateful.
Welcome, Alex.
Yeah, thank you.
I wish I just sent it to him later on, but I could have had more people join. So the next time you guys are doing something, if you would like me to share, I wasn't sure if you guys wanted me to share the link. I could have shared it on my Facebook or some of my other platforms to get some more viewers. So,
Laverne, I'm looking at you, Laverne. We talked about this thing with Laverne.
But I just said, Alex, can you join last minute? And then I text him and I said, we're going to be delayed. And so, but it's all good.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here, Alex. And it's great to see you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure hopefully we'll connect after. Emmanuel, I see you too. Vendela, my big question for you, I see a lot of people don't understand how property really works. I mean, you said it beautifully just now, right? The other part of the whole property challenge is people think, I don't want to be in debt.
Okay.
Right. Can you explain to them how having a mortgage is a good debt?
I said it earlier. It's a piggy bank.
Right.
Every time you pay that mortgage,
it's
you're
a bank.
putting money in the bank.
I agree.
It's a piggy bank. I mean, it's kind of People think, okay, I'm getting in debt, I'm going to owe these people all this money. But think about that. You would not have had $250,000 cash right now. So someone is helping you, right, to get you part of that amount, depending on the type of loan you're getting. They're coming up with that money for you up front, and your property is appreciating over time. So all that money that you're paying into the market is bringing you a return. So in the long run, we're not talking about short term tomorrow, right? But pay that money to the landlord and see what's going to happen. If that landlord sells that property, you got to pack your stuff and go. You ain't getting none of that money back. But if you are paying into the mortgage in 5-10 years, you're going to start seeing a return on your money, because as you're paying down that mortgage, your property value is increasing. Now you have equity. That's that money that you were saving. So, I mean, there's really no simpler way to put it other than to say, when you have that mortgage and you're paying into it, you're paying into a piggy bank. Let's talk about Laverne for a second. Have your property not appreciated since you purchased it, Laverne?
Oh my gosh, yes, it has.
You know what I always tell my clients, the ones that are on the fence and they don't want to buy? Sometimes I say, once you see the equity and how much money you have in there, refinance it and give me all of that money. Okay.
Every time I see a new value, I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it just keeps going up. You're so right.
Exactly. So there's your clear answer. I mean, I can talk about personally the properties that I own. My money.
So can I.
Exactly. There you go. So
I bought 1, I bought 2, I bought 3, I bought 4, I bought 5.
There you go.
That's how I made my money, and I paid for none of them. My tenants paid for all of them.
Oh wow! There you go. There you go.
Let's hear from Michael quickly. Michael, I'll give you one quick chance. If you got a question you want to ask Vendela, please feel free.
Hi, Vendela. I'm particularly interested in finding out or knowing whether this, what you're talking about in terms of mortgages and et cetera, and the advantages. Does this apply to the whole entire wild world, or a specific niche like United States, England, Western Europe? Where this idea, where does it apply, and where can someone take advantage of such a thing? For instance, my interest is in Africa, and I'm wondering, well, are there any opportunities that you're speaking of that will apply in Africa or not? That's one question. And then the other would be, what is the most convenient, what do you call it? I mean, if anyone wants to borrow money from the United States and purchase a house in an international location, can they do that?
All right. So question number one. Great questions, by the way. So I'm particularly talking about Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, because these are the states that I'm currently licensed in, right? So I can speak on those terms. As far as overseas, I'm not so sure, right? That information, we can do research on that to figure that out. But there are a lot of foreign investors in this country, all right? So you can invest in countries that allow you to do that, and America is one of those countries that allow you to do investment. So you can invest here as well. So we can talk more. I have to run, but we can talk more about that offline. If you have any questions surrounding that, we can definitely get together and phone call, Zoom or something. We can discuss further about that, but it is possible.
So you're talking about a bank. Basically, you invest in America or in the United Kingdom, and that house that you got in there is just going to be a bank with tenants in there paying for it. And equity rises and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you can refinance against your equity and use it, basically like, to finance any other projects that you got going on in the rest of the world. So it's your personal bank, so to speak.
Correct. That's exactly what I'm saying. I call it that, a piggy bank, right?
Okay.
Right.
So, all right.
Michael, as Alex says, it applies in Jamaica as well. I think, the simple way that I would explain it is simply is to say you need to have a property market that's stable and sustainable for property investment to work. That's the truth of it. And many African countries, The principle works, but the market's not there. There's no in England. I can guarantee if I buy a property today, it's going to be equity prices every day from now on. Are you with me? I can't guarantee the same thing in Nigeria or in Uganda because
Ah,
ultimately that's the market.
but that's my area. Those are my
Right.
areas of interest. But
So
I
Vendela has to go. I can't keep her in there. Hard stop, she said. So hard stop is a hard stop, right? Like,
All
look,
right.
okay.
do,
Well, yeah,
do,
I have to run, guys. I thank you so much for bringing me on to speak about that. And Laverne knows how to find me. If you have any further questions, I'll be more than happy to chime in. But
Thank you, Vendela. And I did drop Vendela's LinkedIn in the comments, so we can also reach you through there too.
thank you, guys.
share your
Thanks,
profile,
Vendela.
and then hopefully people will connect with you and then arrange conversations with you.
Thank
It's
you.
Mandela, right?
Vendela Bonner.
Vendela.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll share the link. We'll share the link with you, Michael. Just do
I'd
connect with her
certainly
and have a
appreciate.
conversation. And she has to go, so she really has to go. And so,
She
but we
did.
need
Because another thing that she does outside, she does a real estate class on Thursday evenings at 7 too. So all that information, if you connect with her, she'll be able to share that if that is something that you're interested in taking as well. She help people train and do the educational part for being salespeople or real estate as well. So she's a big source of information for anyone interested in any part of real estate.
Okay.
she's
Thank you very much.
make it qualified as well. How many accreditations has she got? About
She has
100.
quite a few. She has quite a few. I lost
Right.
count, Annie. I lost count. And she just said she just did another one again. So, yeah.
Lillian, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I said the legend from the Mind, Body, and Soul podcast. Joan, Lady J, as we call her. Welcome, Lady J. Glad you're here as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, our conversations center around Laverne's amazing book. Yeah, late to the game, but winning. So that's why we will frame the conversation around winning in the property game, in the home ownership game.
Yeah, because Annie, for me, when it comes to the reason why like this topic is in my book, because when my husband and I, when we were going through the process, like it was really frustrating. Like from trying to get our credit right, trying to save money, and then you have to go through the classes and the endless amount of paperwork and checking your credit score. It was like there were many times when I wanted to give up. And I just thought, like, this probably not for me. Like, it's like, because it's a whole lot. It's not an easy process, but I kept at it because it's really something that I wanted to achieve. Since I came, like I mentioned earlier, husband and I, we've been going from landlord to landlord. We were renting apartments and we were experiencing some horrible things, like from fellow tenants, just like inconsiderate, sometimes downright dirty and nasty. Like it's just the environment. The environment was just not conducive to what the kind of life I wanted to live. So I knew I wanted a house, and so we started the process. We gave up on it one time. We put it to the side because we weren't in the right place. And so with Vendela's help, she guided us as to getting our credit score right. And it's not just, I have a credit score of 700. Something else goes with it. Like it goes hand in hand. You could have the right credit score, but you don't have any savings. So we were focused on getting some savings, but then hubby and I, our credit scores were horrible. We had to pay off a lot of debt. We had to go in actually a debt consolidation program at one time. I'm not recommending that for anybody. It's not across the board program. Like it fits some people, and for us that worked. But we had to do a lot of things, and then come up with the down payment costs. And then even after we thought we had it all together and we started going out, we got pre-qualified by the bank for a mortgage that we could afford, or one that we wanted to afford, because we wanted to stay within a range and we wanted to stay within a particular neighborhood. And then once we got pre-qualified and we started going out looking at houses, that was another thing. It was like some of the houses, like you don't want to settle. Because that's one thing. Buying a home is a big, big investment. It's not something where you could just oh, I changed my mind tomorrow. And so that was one of the concerns for me too, is want to make sure. And Vendela went out with us from time to time. She made herself available. We went out multiple trips looking at houses. She would send us links and we would look up addresses and just see which one that we like. But when you go out and you don't take your time to view the houses, you don't want to have buyer's remorse after you sign those papers. It's like you sign your life away, then you'll be stuck in a 30-year mortgage, paying a mortgage for a house that you no longer want to keep. So it's definitely a great investment. It's a goal that, like I said, I wanted to achieve from a long time ago, but it's not an easy process, but it's worth it.
For sure. When you say buyer's remorse, I say, my biggest, I bought property, so I know the process you've gone through. I would say I understand. So our last house, we liked the house because it had everything we wanted. 2 staircases, literally everything, enough room for all of us. We like rooms. We like rooms, right? And this probably had 15 rooms. Guess what we didn't see, Laverne? We didn't see the hedge.
You had no toilets.
No, the hedge in the garden. It sounds like a small thing, right? There was fence, but it was more like a hedge around the garden. Around the fence. You're thinking nothing about that, right? We thought nothing about it either. Moved in, I think year 2. This beautiful greenery along the fence was 12 foot tall. Now you couldn't see out the garden because you had to. Every year I had to spend 2 weeks of my life cutting this damn hedge with a saw. Literally, I sweated and hurt. So that would say from there on, no more hedges. If the garden's not flat, no, we're not buying it. It's little things like that, right? Michael, no toilet's an obvious one. If there's no toilet, you got a problem, right? But of course, some houses also need upkeep. They actually need work done. You have to account for. Are you going to update the house? Are you going to decorate? Are you going to add new features that weren't there before? These are little parts of the conversation that you have to have with yourself.
Does your guy have gas heating or water heating?
Well, Laverne, look, I think it depends where you live. That's for us in the UK. Everyone thinks we have gas and electric. We have electric, yes, but not everyone has gas. Now we're in Cornwall. We have oil. That's a whole different heating system. That's a different thing altogether. So we had to have different boiler installed when the last one.
I'm familiar with the oil one.
I've never seen it before. I've never seen it before, right? Of course, we're moving towards an age where everyone's now going towards solar.
Yeah.
Again, that will require major system upgrade, major system change. All radiators changed, all the pipes changed in your house. So it's most property home ownership things are a project. Maybe not for you, Michael, but for your wife or for your partner, it will be a project. I say that because my wife is always like, "That needs doing." I'm like, "Yes, darling, quite." Because I know it's going to say the same thing again next year. Once it's done again next year and the year after that. Are you that bad, Laverne? Are you that bad, Laverne? Do you know? Keith did say that you're always on him to do something.
I have to always get on him to do stuff. Yes, it's like projects. Something that's simple. It's like 2 months later, it's just getting started. But I accept it. It is what it is.
It makes your house better. It makes your house more your home,
Yes.
right? That's the thing. You have to make it your home.
Absolutely.
I fancy the way you guys think about it being so simple. It's never simple. It's always complicated.
It's not simple. It's not at all simple.
I think it's simple on one level, right? And Vendela said it very well. Dr. Roxana, I'm going to come to you next, right? what would see when I was a kid, I asked myself one question, Michael. Like, what do I want to be? The landlord or the tenant? My answer was quite simple. I must be the landlord. I must. That's why I bought houses. I wanted to own whole streets to have tenants because every month you pay your rent, you are not paying your mortgage. It means every month you pay your rent, you're paying my mortgage. Yay. Winner, right? Winner. And I can buy more houses to have more people paying the mortgage. And I don't pay for my houses. Tenants do, like I said earlier. So it's very simple. Get yourself a broker like Vendela and work out how do I buy a house, no matter how small, no matter how even house share. There's many different options. There's many different options. There's house share. There's part ownerships. You know, there's houses that are wrecks that you buy. You know, whatever they call them, dilapidated properties. I'm saying there's so many options to buy a house, but the sooner you can buy a house, your house, the happy you will be under, and yeah, that saving account starts. Now, my son's he's 30, and he bought a house. Yeah, it's not a house in traditional sense, but it's like an apartment, like a studio flat. You know,
But
but
it's his.
yeah, it's his.
That's
He's
the
got his
whole
own
thing.
front
Yeah.
door. He's got a bit. You know, he has a land registry thing. Is what we do in this country. So there's coordinates that says that bit of land, and that's yours. That's what everyone needs to do. Today, not tomorrow. You know, really.
And
Go on,
what used to frustrate me, Annie, too, is when we used to live in apartments, like you're so limited. I wanted to do things. I wanted to, like one landlord, we couldn't paint certain things. You can't hang on the wall, you can't move certain things. Like I wanted that option. I like options. I wanted, if I feel like a different color next year, then I could do that. You have to go ask permission to do this. And yet to me, it was just too many restrictions. For me, I wanted to be able to control. I have some say in where I live, and so that was all I needed.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I don't know what's gone wrong. I said that makes perfect sense
Well,
to me.
I tell you
Go.
what, Annie, you make it sound like being a kingpin is just heaven. Wow. I mean, the way you explained it. Yeah, I'd like to just come to you and just listen to you about sell me the idea of buying a house, please, Annie. And I want to hear you all the time.
I don't mind need to sell it to you. You know, listen to what Laverne said. It's challenging. You know, again, where do I go when I'm not here? I'm normally decorating a property, Michael, or evicting a tenant, taking them to court, or paying my rent because my tenant hasn't paid. You know, I'm fixing something. You know, I'm saying home ownership comes with responsibility. That asset is not going to appreciate if you don't invest in that asset. If you don't fix it up, if you don't spend money to stop the roof leaking, you know, keep the kitchen intact, you know, keep the kitchen cupboards still working. You know, I'm saying, you know, you're gonna have a disaster on your hands. So
Wow.
I spent 20 years decorating every house with my bare hands. Every year, not every year I go and decorate it, but every year I decorate at least one house for 20 years. That's how I can make the money from it. You know,
So, do you do any calculation ahead of time as to, okay, this is how much I'm spending, this is the amount of time I'm putting into it, blah, 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 and then you add it up to the cost of the rent and etc. Do you do that?
in truth, no, because the income must exceed the outgoing, and it does at best of times. And don't forget, the income is partly also the equity. Thank you. The income is also
So
the equity.
you already pre-calculated, and that was done, you don't even do it again. It's just
Yeah,
automatic.
yeah. Until there comes a day when the wife says to you, "We're losing money," and you're like, "Ah." And then you might do the calculation, but no, but the accountant does the calculations every year. Again, in the UK, you have to pay if you own more than one property, you have to pay tax on your income. And then they change the rules, so you have to pay tax on your income, and they're not going to take away the expenses, so you only pay tax on profits. Which is why people like me said, we're not going to be landlords anymore. We're going to sell our houses and take out money. Yay. That's where we are, Michael. Let's hear from Dr. Roxana. You've been quiet for too long, Dr. Roxana. How are you doing?
I'm good. Okay, let me see if can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Welcome, Dr.
Okay.
Roxana.
Okay, how are you doing? I have a question though before I start. When we bought our house, it was actually it was a 1999, but I'm asking. Suppose I need to get another house. Will I be able to put both of them in one LLC and in a trust? The first question is, can I put two houses in one LLC and both of them in a trust?
Answer is yes, you can. Of course you can.
Okay. All
Right.
right.
So, look, there's, you're asking a good question, which is, how do you own multiple properties? Right?
Okay.
How do you own properties full stop? One way to own properties is to start a company that owns the properties, right?
Okay.
Because then that absorbs you. It helps you avoid being the one responsible. The company is responsible, right?
Okay.
But of course,
Uh,
in terms of the you're subject to more business rules if you think about it.
I'm not sure I got. Can you say that again? I'm
Right.
sorry.
You're subject to more rules here in this country.
Okay.
If you're if your property is owned by your company, then
Okay.
there's rules that govern how that works, right? Whereas
Oh,
the other way is just own the properties as you.
all
You're
right.
responsible. It's in your name. You can have as many properties as you like.
Okay.
So I think I mean, if the company owns their properties, I think you might pay less tax.
So that is why I'm asking.
You're paying corporation tax. You say
Okay.
you're paying you're gonna have to face capital gains tax eventually when you sell up, if you ever do.
Um. Okay. The question is, suppose I want to when I'm going to file my tax.
Mm.
Is it better to leave the house in my personal tax or my business tax? Which one?
Either way, you're gonna pay the tax anyway. That's what I'm
I know, but which
Right,
one? Which one
right.
saves me much more money? Which one is
You're
better?
gonna have to go to Vendela. You're gonna have to talk to a finance expert. In the UK, I think it costs £70,000 to turn our properties into a company.
Okay, you have to pay to do that.
Yes. And if
Yeah,
you
so
own,
that are some terms I don't know. So that's
yeah.
why I have to make sure that it's not going to cost me more to.
Mm.
Okay.
Talk to the right. See, Vendela people like her are worth their weight in gold. As you well know, Dr. Roxana, your
Mm,
financial advisor is your best friend, it's your greatest friend, is the best
okay.
person that you're ever going to have in your life.
Okay.
Yes. Mine are, they're like brothers, they're like fathers to me, really. I say that I don't do anything without them. So I wouldn't be where I am without my financial advisors. Because they know what is what, right?
Okay.
So let's say you didn't put your assets into a property, into a business, then the taxman will expect you to pay tax based on your rental income versus your expenses for maintenance. The profits you make, you're gonna pay tax on. Right. That tax, I'm sure in the UK, it's US and UK is the same. It depends on how much money you earn, my friend. Are you a low rate taxpayer, middle rate taxpayer, or high rate taxpayer? If you are one of those, whichever one of those you are, will determine how much tax you have to pay. High rate taxpayer pays high rate tax
I
on
know.
all that income
Okay.
or all that profits that you make. The expert will tell you how to save your money. I know what I just said, right?
Yeah.
Your financial advisor. No, they're worth their weighting. The good ones are worth their weight in gold.
Okay.
Because they can truly help you build your business and build your money, and and I agree, Alice. It sounds like a question for one of your accountants. Yes. Talk to financial experts, and they'll tell you if they like you, they'll tell you the truth.
All
If
right.
they don't like you, then get rid of them. That's why.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Okay. Well, that's my question anyway. But you know what? I said I have to come over here. And Laverne, how are you doing? Thank you for
you.
working on this great topic. Okay, that's
Wonderful,
good.
Roxanne. I'm so happy you were able to join us.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah,
topic.
because a lot of people, I think a lot of times people think about buying a home, but then they don't know that there is help to get them to that point. And
Yeah.
so they just think about how hard it is,
Oh
and
yeah.
and then they don't have anybody to help them. But having someone like Vendela in my life was a big help, because we would not have been where we are today. And she made us realize that we don't have to settle, because a lot of people, I've heard of experiences, they settled on buying a house. Like you
Oh.
went out for the first time, you showed me the first house, and I was pressured to buy it. No, like
I like the decision.
yeah, you
You
don't want to
just
be in a situation like that. No, because it's not, like I said, it's not an easy and it's not a simple transaction that this is. No. So if you have
that's
to go
good.
out multiple times to look at homes, you should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's none of them is easy to
Right.
be pay your house note. I mean, not house note. Pay it under a landlord. That's not easy, and it's a
Right.
waste of money
It is.
because it's a waste of money.
It
You
is.
pay more than sometimes.
Hold on, it's not a waste of money. It's just the economy. It's how things work,
No,
right?
no, no,
Annie
no,
is
no,
I'm a
Annie
landlord.
speaking as a
no, no. I know.
landlord.
I'm not a thief. I'm
As a
not a
landlord,
thief.
Annie speaking.
I
Yes.
provide a
Any,
service,
you
and
are a
they're paying
landlord.
to live in my house. What's the
When people
problem?
know that, when people know what they are missing, when they are just staying in somebody's house and paying their bills because they're
Right.
paying your bills. They're
Right.
paying your bills for you.
Could put
That's
that in your
why you
that,
have to get out and start looking for your own house.
put that
Hold
money in
on,
your
mate.
pocket.
Laverne, I pay for maintenance as well. Don't forget, right?
Yeah, see?
When the economy goes pear shaped, I cover the costs technically.
Yeah. And speaking
Yeah,
of maintenance, Annie, I think that's another reason why some people don't go for home ownership. Because when you're renting and something breaks down, you could call your landlord, come fix
Yeah.
this. But
Mm.
then
yeah,
when you own it, then you got to fix it yourself. So I feel like that is one of the reasons too that people just don't go for it, because they have to be all in.
I
yeah,
agree. I
Yeah,
think the all-in thing is important, Laverne, in the sense that
absolutely.
just as you're talking, I was thinking, you know what? Yeah, when you have a mortgage, if you're married and you have a mortgage,
mhm,
it's very hard to split because you're all in. This house thing is still there. You have to keep paying for it,
Right.
right? And I think the commitment scares people. It's
Yes.
ridiculous. I'm
yes.
saying, you have
It's
to be committed to your relationship, committed to your home. Otherwise,
Mhm.
one, you could be homeless, but two, you could actually be paying for a home you actually don't live in.
Right.
yeah,
Think of that. You know?
yes.
Mhm.
But
But
anyway, see, if everybody have the understanding, then everybody see, you find how much the other person is making and try to complement. That is why you are a couple. But that's understanding has to be there because before you go and buy a house anywhere.
True. True.
Before
Absolutely.
yeah, but it's not also easy to be a landlord. It's not easy to be a landlord because there are some people you put them in your house, they wouldn't pay for any small reason.
Right.
For any small reason, they will not pay the rent.
And they destroy your property.
And they destroy your property when they are
Yes.
mad. They destroy your property. That's
yeah,
bad. So it's not
I,
really easy to be. Yeah,
Right. Right. Yeah.
I
You
might,
can't. You got to have a heart for it. You got to actually know what you're going into before you get there. Because
exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
it's
I
a
might write a
commitment.
book about being a
Because
landlord.
there are some tenants who do you wrong as a landlord. They
Exactly. I
are.
mean, you can see a whole lot of things when you're a landlord. I mean, so you have to be a strong person to be a landlord.
Right.
People take away their anger on you, misplaced aggression.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's a couple that have a small problem. They break all the walls and do some stuff, and
Yes.
then you come in and you be the person fixing fixing
Right.
everything.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
then yeah, that happens.
When things are going
And
right,
then at the end of the month, you have a hard time sometimes to get your rent too.
that's
you,
exactly. I'm
you
telling
have to
you.
threaten them with putting them, evicting them out of the property.
mm,
They want you to give them chances. You give them a chance,
mm,
extend it, and you shouldn't be chasing them down for your rent. But
But that's something my daughter did. She went and hired a realtor
mhm.
to be uh, a middle person between her and her houses, so she doesn't go to collect the rent.
Oh,
So somebody who she hired a realtor. So the realtor is just the middle person. All she knows is that at the end of the month,
she get her money.
the money is in her bank.
Right.
Yeah, so that solves a lot of problems.
Yeah, that's smart.
At the end of the month, the money is in her bank. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to change to another. Yeah, sorry, I'm going.
Now you're gonna be hearing an echo, Roxanne.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting out of this one. One is not working. Okay.
Okay, I love the background too.
Thank you. The other one is a cell phone, so it's not
Right.
working. What
I
I'm
get
saying is
it.
that getting a middleman is very good. Getting a middleman to mediate between you and your tenants is very,
Yeah.
very good
Yeah,
because
sometimes you have to.
maybe you have to pay them, but that saves you some headache,
It's worth it.
saves you a lot of heartache. Yeah, so
Absolutely.
it's really good too. So, Annie, I said that my daughter
mm,
got a realtor to be the middleman
mm.
between her and her tenants. So all she knows is at the end of the month, the mediator, the realtor, will go and collect the money from the houses and then put
Yeah,
in her bank. All she knows is she will
mm.
see the money in her bank.
Yeah.
But
But sometimes the agents can be the landlord, so to speak. No,
yeah,
they handle the maintenance, they handle the issues.
oh yeah,
Like, tenants
my
tenants
son
don't
does
call
that.
me. You know,
My
you
son
fix a
does that.
problem.
My daughter doesn't.
So they say right. So there's two options even in your family. I'm saying people have to know that each one has implications, right?
I
Right.
know. See the
If you if you want to run around the country like me, look, I've had
you
agents.
can handle it.
The problem with
Handle it.
agents, the problem with agents is that they come with their crew. They got their own. They got the gas man, their electrician. You admit their trades, we call them.
Yeah,
And some of them charge an arm and a leg. I can do it cheaper. I can do it for free myself, right? And I
yeah,
got friends who will do it for more reasonably.
But you have to have that must be a reason why you want to do that. My daughter is a travel nurse. She's actually in where is she now? I can't even remember where she is now, but Oregon. She's in Oregon. She moved from North Carolina to Oregon, so she it's not near enough, and she can't actually do it. That's why she hired a realtor to do the job, the dirty job, but she's paying them so that she can go ahead and travel.
So I hear you. Look,
Um,
so
can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. What are the rules around? What are the rules for tenants? Do you know, Levan? Do you know what are the rules around property ownership, renting, and how long do you have to be there before they can evict you legally through the courts?
Oh, that I'm not sure really.
So that means
I know they have to. I don't know if it's 30 days, but I know they definitely have to give you advance notice. I don't know if it's. I would say 30 days, but it could be more. I'm not sure. Um,
and then I see you two on Judge Judy, right?
right. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that would depend on the state and their regulations. But typically, yeah, 30 days to 90 days, you can be there on the property, and then the owner has to give you notification for at least 30 days prior, so that you can find some other location to rent or to locate to. So that's typically the case
Wow.
in the United States, as I understand it. I do not know what it's like in the United Kingdom
In,
or
here
other
you
places.
have to give them 3 months notice to leave,
Oh wow, that's a lot
and
of
then
time.
if if they don't leave, then you can apply to the courts. Well, here the courts take a year and a half to actually to give you a date for anything, unless you're part of the rich people and the powerful who the taxman, in other words, they can get court hearings tomorrow if they wanted to. I'm saying, no, us landlords, we have to wait forever. I'm waiting for two tenants now to be evicted. I said one of them I waited 18 months.
Oh wow.
Meanwhile, you're losing money. You're losing money. You're losing rent that they're not paying.
Right. That's what I was going to ask you. So you're not getting any kind of payment during that time?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
look,
And you're still expected to pay the bank.
of course, you have to pay your
Mm,
mortgage. Of course you do.
Yeah.
It's serious business because
yeah.
you don't want to default on your mortgage payment.
Right.
You really don't. You don't want to say sorry, I couldn't pay this month. You just pay. You have to find the money. But like I say, those are exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
When on the whole, when things are going well, you are making money. Again, what do you do with the money you make? The profits you make in 1 month. Do you spend it on good food and good drink, or do you put it away? That's, are you with me? It's a
No,
business.
I
You can't,
assume that you reinvest it, and that's what I'm thinking, so that it can make more
no,
money.
but even then, without cash flow, you're ruined. No business survives without cash flow. Even a landlord needs to have cash flow. You need money to fix stuff, to do stuff, to pay stuff. And so you have to have the access to that money. And so we've run properties for 20 years and more, so we know how it works. We know what we're doing. And you also have to have the right people in place. So you have to have the trades we mentioned earlier: electrician, the gas person, the builder, and the solicitor, which my sister is. Thank goodness. Of course, the accountant who does the books every year. It's a business, but the one you live in, Levan, because you can't really sell it, can you? Because you have to live. Yeah, you need somewhere to live.
Correct.
But
Correct.
it's all
Yeah.
right saying the assets, the appreciation of the value, but you can't really do much with it. That's why we say you're asset rich, cash poor.
Right.
I don't
And I
think
mean, we have made some additions to it, like since we've moved in, like we've put in your windows and your floors and stuff like that. So of course that allows for the value to increase even more. But We're here for a little bit. We do have an intention of somewhere along the line to possibly purchase something else and maybe rent something out. But I just love, like I said, I love when I have options. I don't like when I'm stuck and I can't do anything with it. So that was the whole point behind owning a home. Michael, you're on camera now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I just thought I might join you guys and, not be a stick in the mud.
Oh,
No,
that's
thank
good.
you. Yeah. It's always good to see your face.
Hmm.
Awesome.
Let me say,
So
Well,
Annie,
thank you.
so
I'll show my
welcome, Lady
face even more
K.
often.
there you go. We welcome it anytime.
Mhm.
Welcome,
So,
Lady K.
Annie's frozen.
No, I'm not frozen.
It's,
So,
Um,
Roxana, have you ever had the experience
I'm
of
not
being a
frozen.
landlord?
I'm not frozen. I'm
oh,
still
oh
here.
no, but my children are my 30 years old daughter and my 40-something-year-old son. They're landlord.
Okay.
So it's like I am because I already know who has having problem and who is making money, and someone can just move into the house
Right.
within 6 months. The person is making a lot of trouble, and then they're going through giving me a quick notice. And the girl that is in Oregon can't. She has 3 houses, but she can't go and run all the errands. So she has to pay someone to
Right.
do the job so she can travel nurse. So I hear all the news. I actually want
So
to get
you get the inside scoop.
I'm a landlady, but for the house I live in, but I need maybe some more. Yeah. So
Mm.
as
So you're a homeowner, Dr. Roxana,
oh
yes? No?
sure, a house is actually paid off. Yes.
Good for
That's why
you.
I told you. When we were
Let, let,
living
let, 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 let,
somewhere.
let- let's let's talk about that. Let's talk about your journey to paying it off. Lady K, I say
Oh, when I
welcome again. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. Lady K is the other half of the Mind, Body, and Soul podcast. So Lady J. And
okay.
the writing magazine about wellness and healthy eating. So do connect with her and go along to. They've got a show every Sunday night. Michelle and I are normally in the background listening intently on Facebook, on YouTube. Yeah, they're amazing people. Do connect with them.
Hi,
Yeah,
Michelle.
for all day. I got and
Yeah,
again,
Michelle Ramos.
I mentioned Lady J and Lady K because I think we need or we always need access to a bigger audience, and these two have a huge global. They've got a radio station that they're affiliated to. So Laverne Bayesian Radio, I think it's called.
Oh, Bajan Radio? Are they
Yeah,
connected to Barbados?
it's not just be connected. The Bayesian Radio are the sponsors. It's on. No, they got the show on Bayesian Radio.
Okay.
Right. So no, you two are authors. Talk to them and go on the show. Go on, you know, find your how you can enrich our mind, body, and soul. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Lady J, you have two potential guests, right? And Wednesdays. I'm sorry, Michelle. And so Sunday nights and Wednesdays they do the show,
Mhm.
and they are truly lovely. Why am I telling you that? Connect with them and find out for yourself.
Will do.
So, Dr. Roxana, so tell us about
Ye-
your journey to home ownership.
Oh, okay. We when we came over here, we came straight to my junior brother, who was living here before we came, and we had to stay in his house for about 3 months. But, I brought a family of seven, me and my husband, and 5 children. So it's not like we are just not going to be eating. And when we came, the young family of my brother's family, they are too young for seven of us to live there. So we moved within 3 months and got into an apartment. And when we got into an apartment, we were paying, but this is an exorbitant price. And my brother kept telling us every month that, you can afford a house. What you're paying in that apartment is almost a house rent. And we paid that. We paid that for 3 years. It's not just because anyway, it's not. You can't just qualify for a house. You have to have a good job. You don't just walk out there and they give you a house. We were new from Africa. We didn't have the wherewithal to go and buy a house. So we had to stabilize, stay for 3 more years. And so we went, by that time I had a full-time job teaching. My husband had a job too. He's a pharmacist, he's retired now. So we went and bought a house. We bought a new house, and we had a big house, five rooms and parlors, so that it can contain all of us. And that was 1999. So it was paid off within 15 years. We worked so hard and paid it off within 15 years. It was a 30-year mortgage, but you know what? We worked so hard. You know what? When something like that is in your cart, that ball in our cart, we wanted to kick it. And so every month we get the money. We want to know how much extra can we pay so that this mortgage will go down. And by the way, we were paying this because we know it's going to be a house. So you can imagine, when we pay it off, it's going to be a house. And so we did. When we paid it off 15 years after, since 1999, it's been more than 10 years now, more than 10 years now. So we paid the house off. It became a house. So we're living free. And that's nothing like you don't have a mortgage at the end of the month. You don't have a mortgage. It was like, it was like a dream. And people couldn't believe that, oh, we just came to America the other day. How come you can we now own a house? And when we tell them, they don't believe it. Some of
They
them
don't know.
haven't even bought a house. So we were an inspiration to a lot of people because we actually bought a house within 15 years. We paid it off. So we were a lot of inspiration to other people. But the fact is that it was a good decision, very good decision, moving from that apartment where we paid almost the same. You know what? When we moved into a house, almost the same rent. So the monthly payment was almost the same rate we paid on an apartment. And then you have space. Somebody can just come to your house. It's not like when you're having a party, you go and take permission from and then sometimes somebody knocks on your door and warns you that you cannot park there. But nobody came to warn us since we moved into our own house. It became a property. That's nothing as good as that. So if you can afford it, go get a house. But I know it's not easy though.
I, I think I think you said if you can afford it, right? I think in truth it all starts with a dream. If do you want to own a house? If you do,
Yeah.
then you have to align yourself with what that means. Like you say, it means becoming stable. It means having a job, a decent job. Having it's easy to pay for a house with two people. Let me tell you, I must well say that, right? I say the home ownership conversation goes with our last conversation around marriage. This is where marriage wins because when there's two of you, you have much more chance of find. That's what Rosanna said it earlier. We pull our money, whatever it takes. We're gonna pay the mortgage, right? We're gonna find the money between us somehow, and we must. I feel like as Lady K says, your mindset is the key. It really is the key.
Exactly.
If
Your
you
mindset
keep
is
telling
the
yourself,
key.
I can't afford it, you're never gonna afford it. So if you say, like you just said, Dr. Roxana, it's a no-brainer. You pay the same in a mortgage as you do in rent. Imagine that.
And you know what? When whoever makes more money has to pay the bill, it doesn't matter who it is, whether you're the woman or the man.
Right.
Whoever, I don't know how that's do it, but I don't want that shame that my house is being foreclosed. So we want to know what is it going to take for us to make sure we pay our bill. So we have to make sure we count that and keep it somewhere before something else, whatever we have to talk about. But it was paid off, and we were so happy. What an achievement!
Yeah, that's liberating.
Yes,
Yeah, you're free. Yes.
also free.
I'm looking forward to that feeling, Roxana.
What kind of freedom? You see, you never know that kind of freedom. See, you go to the backyard, it is yours. I mean, you can
Yeah.
just. I know.
And
So
my husband talks about that all the time. He's always trying to, let's think about another way to pay this mortgage off. That's all that he talks about. Like, just paying it off now. Just be done with it.
it's a sort of inspiration, though. It
Yes.
makes you, yeah, it gives you joy that at the end of the month we pay extra, and that extra we pay just gives us fun. We could pick up some extra jobs anywhere. We were not that young then. When I came here, I was 40. I came here when I was 40 years old, so you can imagine.
Right.
But we made all kinds of side hustles, all kind of full-time job, so that we can buy a house and pay it off, and we did.
Yeah.
So it's a question of determination.
Yeah. And you both were committed to it.
Oh yeah,
It's
oh
easier,
yeah.
like Annie said, when both of you are committed, the same goal, you work toward the same goal. It's easier.
Yes,
It's not
it's
just
a
on one
commitment.
person. Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Totally
Yeah,
is.
that's what it is. You gotta be committed to do something, determination.
Yeah.
This is what we plan to do, no matter what the obstacles are. You
Yes.
want to navigate all those obstacles and go ahead and do what you got to do.
Find a way. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
It's our mindset. Yes.
I think that having that structure, that's important as well. Like, of course, if you don't know, Dr. Roxana is an accountant as well, so she thinks like an accountant. She literally she can count the pennies because you should, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
count it and make sure that they are where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'm interested in knowing. I know that you indicated that 2 is better.
If you're wondering what Michael's doing, Michael's on his vibrating plate. So literally he's vibrating as he's talking, as he's standing there.
He's
Yes,
an
Michael?
engineer.
No? Yeah, he stopped now.
Yeah, that's absolutely and utterly right. I am vibrating. I'm basically trying to get the blood flow from circulating within my legs. So because I have blood flow circulation issues, so that's why I use the vibrator to help me do that, and that's why you're seeing me do that. If it's disturbing, let me know, and I'll just cut out the picture.
No, it's not disturbing.
I'm interested in knowing how a single person could this kind of about your dog. Can you tell us a little bit more about what she does and how she well, I understand you're saying that she's got a realtor to manage her properties. Is she still single? How does she
Okay.
If not, did she get it when she was single when she started? And also the same thing about your son. I'd certainly like to know.
Yeah, very good question, Michael. I have 5 children. So my first son was the first person that bought a house. I don't know, but because he was the first, so he bought a house. And soon after that, he got married. So he bought a house before he got married. And very soon he went to Nigeria and brought his wife. Then my second son is the one I'm talking about. So he bought a house and then he has 4 more. So that he's actually working. A few months ago, he said, okay, I'm going to stop working full time so I can just look into his real estate investments. And now he is now looking after his investments. And because it's becoming, and he's the one managing it. He doesn't want another person. He's married with 2 children. And my daughter is my 4th child. She bought the first house when she was not married. Actually, at the age of 23, she bought a house. She was not married. For some reasons, I don't know why she had to buy a house that time. Immediately she graduated as a nurse from Clemson. And then soon after she bought a house, she got married. And then after some time, she decided she wants to be a travel nurse. That was when she decided to give the house over to realtor. And when she started traveling, she bought another house. Now she has, I think, 3 of them. But a realtor, a middleman, goes to collect because she can do it all. She has 2 children. She's married, and the husband helps to renovate the houses. Maybe I don't want to say that they still have a go between, because since she got married, I haven't had when she's talking about the middleman. But before she got married, she had a middleman to go to and fro, to check the house, to pay for the house. But I know they are living in Oregon now, and that's too far away to take care of the house in Atlanta, because one of them is in Atlanta, one is in North Carolina, and the other are in Oregon. So I don't see them looking after those houses, because Oregon is too far away from here.
I
So I
agree
don't
with
know if
you with
I answered
respect to
your
that. I've been
question.
to Oregon and I know where
Yeah,
it is, and I know
yeah.
where North Carolina and South Carolina are. You're talking
Okay.
about East Coast versus West Coast, and having to commute from one end
Oh yeah,
to the next.
that's too.
That's a lot. On top of
That's
that,
a
if you've
lot,
got 2 kids and
and then go to
you're
work, and
working
then go
full
to
time,
work,
you go
and
to
then
work,
work.
you're working full time. Those
Uh-huh.
children need what do you call it? They,
Oh,
they 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 need the father and the mother to be
and
around
yes,
to
so
grow up.
you,
Uh,
It,
it's
it's
going to
not
be
it's not
extremely
just
tough.
commute. It's not just commute, Michael. I think when you have property far away, you need people there. Laverne knows if Laverne has a leak, she knows who to call. She has a friend local who
exactly.
to call, right? We all do. You know to call. You soon find out to call in your place, Michael. But if you have a house across the country, property across the country, you don't know anyone. You don't know who to trust, because anyone you call, they might say yes, they might say no, they might charge you what they want to charge you, and then suddenly, you're making a loss. But
Yeah.
it's having that network of people that you need to make a property work that we all try and build. Local is much better because worst case I can't do it myself. But when I moved to Cornwall across the country, I had to get agents for all my houses because maybe 2 I didn't get agents for. My sister's near one of them, so she looks after that one. I'm saying that's how we did it because that's what Rosanna keeps saying. You have to pay the agent.
Oh yeah, I have to
Each,
pay,
each,
pay them.
each time you have a leak, your rental income for that month goes down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Down.
Oh, some of these wind, hurricane can
Yeah,
blow
you
out
have to
some
pay.
of
Yeah, you have to pay for the leak to be fixed. And you have to then, pay your agent for arranging for the leak to be fixed. Yeah, it's a whammy, right? But what can you do, right? It's a business,
All a
You have
part of
to,
the business. Yes.
yeah.
But even your home, it's a business
Yeah.
too. In
Yeah.
my
But
house,
you aren't you always paying your agent every month because
yes,
they're doing regular maintenance, and then on top of that, of course, the agent will take care of the problem, and then they'll pass on the bill to you.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
every month you have to pay the agent. Yes,
Oh yeah, you have
because
to pay them for them to
but
do the job. Yeah.
yeah, but it's also for me it
Yeah,
was a no brainer. Yeah,
but
for
they're
me,
solving a lot of problems though.
you
They
are,
are.
you are, and
Yes. Saving
I think,
yourself a lot of headaches. Yes.
yeah, I mean, you're helping families too. You're helping society by being a
Yeah.
landlord. But no, but even before you become a landlord, you have to buy your own place somehow.
Right.
I think that's a challenge many people don't. So I think that's a challenge Laverne's talking about in her book. Again, that's what Roxana mentioned. She started when she came to the US when she was 40. I'm saying that's late to the game, but still won, Dr.
Right.
Roxana.
Right.
That's proper late to the
Yeah.
game, but still won. You're still winning.
Yeah, I
Yeah. And when
understand because
we bought
that's like 10 years away.
I was
Go.
really late to the game, Annie, with mine because
Mm, mm.
when this was what 4 years ago.
Mm.
And I was almost 50. So,
Yeah.
so talk about late to the game. Yes.
I was late to game too. I was late to the game, but I'm still winning. You're
Yes,
right.
you're winning. Absolutely.
I
Winning,
am late
winning,
to the
winning.
game, but I'm
I
winning. Yeah.
suppose that
And
there's no such
enjoying the
thing as late to
benefits
the
of
game, is
winning.
there?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh
Go,
yeah.
go, Michael. Go, Michael. Sorry, you're trying to go.
I suppose there's no such thing as late to the game. And it's just a matter of you having your mindset set and properly, and,
Ooh,
and definitely getting all your stuff in
ooh.
order.
We
Correct.
like that, Levan. We
Your
like that,
time,
right?
your frame time is your time. Yes. But that's just what it seemed. It seemed like we were late to the game. But in
Yeah.
essence, we weren't really late. That was just our time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. That was a good point, Michael.
Well, you guys made it well worth it. You were saying it, and I was just listening.
So you can just start whenever you can. Just start anyway.
Mm.
Yeah,
I think in the introduction, you say that I mean you explained it quite well, Levan. Even though that everyone thinks you're late to a game, you were never late because you got there in
correct.
your good time and
Yes,
you did what you had to do, right?
that's
You know,
right.
so yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mentioned that because it was in my 20s. I was just going into my 30s when I started looking, and I was very disappointed with what the banks were telling me. And
Mhm.
I just shut down and I said, no, I'm not going to buy a house. I'm just going to rent, and just kept on moving on with that. And the thing that I was also really pissed off about is that all the rent that I've been paying was not being, used or credited, put towards my credit. It's kind of like you pay rent and you pay rent and you pay rent, and it's not going to credit. There's no benefit, it seems like, but at the same time, they're making it extraordinarily hard for you to get your. I was,
See,
they said
he's
no,
breaking.
and I kicked myself in the ass because I should have just, continued looking and listened to other people who are actually trying to get me to invest in a house. And I was just outright, I've been down that road. They shut me down, and I don't want to go there anymore. So right now, it's just I'm opening my ears and I'm trying to, figure out whether I guess this is my time to actually go in and do it,
Yeah,
because
look, I
I've
suppose
basically put in my time. I've got my credit. Just
mm,
need to just build up whatever money needs to be built up, and then on top of that, figure out where exactly I want to invest. And I want to make it a hard thing because and permanent and secure. Um, because I'm don't want to be doing this again.
there's many things you said there, Michael. Let me welcome Joni. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, if you want to come and share about home ownership with us,
Hey,
feel
Johnny.
please. We'd love to hear from you, right? I mean, I thought you were coming up, Michelle. I thought you know you're gonna join us, but if you can if you want to link anyone, just put in the comments, like DM me the link. I'll send you the link directly. Right, Michael. I think a lot of people are put off by the thought of paying interest on a mortgage. That's life, right? And I think you have to get your head around home ownership. It's the biggest asset you're ever gonna have, and it's the only thing we own that keeps appreciating. Your car, as soon as you buy a car, it depreciates. It's worth less than a half. As soon as you drive off the forecourt, it's worth less than half what you paid for it. Think of that. The only thing that I appreciate is it's your home, is it bricks and mortar. So paying interest is, the banks have to make the money somehow, right? And one day I understood that paying interest doesn't mean you have to pay off your mortgage. More importantly, I could take money out of house number one to buy house number two and
Yeah.
do it again and again and again. Now you're a millionaire before you even realize, which has its own drawbacks because when the tax man comes later on, it's like, look how much money you've made. We want the tax, and it's like, oh damn. But then I think you're thinking about permanence, Michael. maybe sometimes home ownership's not for everyone. I'm lying. I'm lying. It is for everyone. I promise you, right? I say, you can move around because you don't have that fixed house that you have that you're fixed location forever, right? I'm saying that's a perk. But one day you're gonna have to play this home ownership game. Otherwise, you're gonna pay rent forever, and all the money you paid is gonna be to someone else. Right? That's what we're saying. You know?
Yeah, and that's definitely what towards my at the end of the years. That's not what I want. I want to be paying for I want my house to be paid for, wherever I'm living to be paid for and done, and have my little garden or farm and do my farming, sustain myself, etc., etc. But and that means that I must have ownership of that property, or I must have ownership. Yeah, I must have ownership of that property. There's no other way around it at all.
Hi,
I understand.
Johnny. Johnny,
Hi,
welcome.
hi, hi.
Hi,
Hey,
Johnny.
that's
Hey,
it.
Waited.
Hold on. There's different ways to
So
own
good
a
to
home.
see you.
so
Yeah.
good to see you.
We're
I just
excited to
like
see Johnny.
Can you acknowledge
randomly was
Michelle's
like, I
comments,
need to check my
please?
email quick, and then I got Eddie's message. I was like, oh my gosh, how fun! How fun that I get to see all you lovely human beings. So Bezos. Anyways, I was so freaking lucky to have purchased my house. So essentially what happened was I got divorced. I couldn't afford my actual beautiful home. And so I found the best school district in the Chicagoland area, and I was emptied out my 401k, which I know not it was necessary. I had to do it, and bought this house for, let's say, 370. It's now worth 670, and that
Wow.
is in 6 years.
Wow, that is a big jump.
That's a really big jump, and so and this is all the money I have.
That's
This is what I
genius.
have, you
Yeah,
know.
but
Right,
you don't need
right.
to know. That's what we're talking about, Michael. Literally,
Yeah, I
it,
see the big advantage right there.
Like
I
just
mean,
I do
that's
literally
not
make
have
money.
a
credit
hundred
card
percent
debt. I have
profit.
nothing. But
Mm.
this is what I have. So if things go south, we're just gonna flip this home over. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
There you
sell
go.
it, sell it,
Here
and
comes the options
buy.
again. It's always good to have options.
Yeah.
Yeah, look,
Yes, home ownership does give you a lot of those options.
so
So
yeah,
you don't feel like you're ever stuck. There's nothing else you can do. And because it is your own.
mm.
It is my own, and
Yes.
I wallpaper every room the way I want it,
There you
and
go.
uh, I plant all the flowers in my garden myself, and
Yes.
I have all of my kids' heights on the board over there, and it's home for
Yeah.
me, and it's just mine. I own it, just me. So it feels really I feel really proud of it.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
So
and
you
certainly
should.
it is just a home, my
No,
kids
no,
are
it's
my
a
family.
home. It's your home. So
Your
you turn it
home.
into your home. So
Yep.
look, I just want to draw attention to Michelle's
And by the
way.
way, I got a porch swing on my porch. Okay. This took 2 years of different people trying to get in this weird part of my attic to get it on a beam. And I was up in the attic. It took forever. And now I have a porch swing on my front porch where I can just have a glass of wine and chill.
Awesome. Absolutely love it. Yes. Mine is in
Hold
my
on,
backyard. Yes.
Levan. I like Michelle's way of doing it. So there's many options that we have. That's the thing, right? So she says
Right.
rather not own the home she lives in. She'd rather rent out the one that she rather rent the one she lives in and lease and rent out the one that she owns. So again, literally, you can make choices, right?
Definitely.
When
Absolutely.
you own property, if you can make, that can be the vehicle, because of course what that's bringing in rent.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's helping your credit, which is what
Yeah.
we were just
Yes.
talking about, because you're paying your mortgage on time.
Right. Right.
I mean, I rented out a home I owned in Chicago for a long time, and it was a nightmare. It was a straight
Mm.
nightmare. Every year, someone was leaving that home. And so I would have to go down there and like re-find people to rent it. It was a
Mm.
nightmare. And they called me. I lived 45 minutes away with little kids. I did all the maintenance. And so in the middle of the night, they call me, my heat's out. And that's like a landlord, no, you have to do it. And
Oh.
I get down there with my two little toddlers.
Wow.
And yeah, this middle of the night, and their batteries were out on their thermostat.
Oh, she needed that agent, Roxana.
Oh yeah, that's what we talked about. You have to have,
She needed
sometimes you
that
can
middle
help it.
person.
You get
Yes.
an agent to help
I'm
you
like,
building.
you didn't check the batteries. Like, I would have sprung for those if you went to
You have to
Walgreens.
get an agent
Oh my
sometimes to be the mediator.
The- the-
Yeah,
but the agents might have charged you for the pleasure and said to you,
I know,
no,
but you can't
it's
help
gone
it.
But it
wrong. It
would have
needs
been worth
replacing.
it.
It needs
It would have been worth
replacing.
it, especially with the two kids. You have to take them
2
along.
kids sleeping in their
Yeah.
car seats, like trying to get 2 toddlers in a car seat that are like, "Bleh."
Right. They want to be in their bed. Yes.
They want to be in their bed. And
Oh
that
yeah,
was, this is a long time ago, but it was one of
you have
those
to do.
aha moments.
Yes.
You have to do what you can do. You have to
Yes.
delegate
Like, what?
sometimes. Delegate, so
No,
you can have some
wait.
peace of mind.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like it's okay. Some people were never taught that thermostats have batteries.
Those are experiences. You learn from every experience.
So, Joni, do you still own that home, or what did you do?
Oh no, actually, I didn't get a really good payout on it, but I got a payout. They knocked it down and put up like luxury apartments.
Okay.
But it was good that
You don't have to deal with
we
the
got
issues
any
anymore.
money at all. We got money, and then we moved to a home in the north side of Chicago, and then I got divorced, and then moved to the west side of Chicago. So yeah, but I just feel proud that I own my house by myself, and I've done so much freaking work to it. Like I drywalled the basement. I like put in different plumbing. I'm
Yeah.
pretty boss like that, you
An
know.
excitement to own your own home.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's an excitement to own your own home. You just can't help it but be happy.
Absolutely.
Feel
Yeah,
like
because
you are
it's just like
accomplished.
you
Mm-hmm.
know where all the little knickknacks are, and like it doesn't matter if you have 3 junk drawers. I like the junk drawers.
Yeah. It's really
And
it's
I feel like you're like renting a house. It's like everything has to be like exactly neat, so like you can just pick up and go. But yeah, I like things to feel really homey, and so
Yeah,
I try to do a good
it's
job.
fulfilling. It's
it
fulfilling
is.
to
It is.
own your
It
own
is.
home.
It is
Yeah.
that smell of like coming into your home, that
Into your
like maybe
own.
you had a fire last night, like in
Oh,
a wood burning fireplace, and like maybe some chicken and garlic was cooking, and it's just like, ugh, I love this house.
yes. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I know one time we used to have a landlord who used to like had too much time on her hands. She used to drive around the property just to look for something to complain about. Like the grass is too long, you have something sitting out on your porch for too long. It was just like it was annoying. It was annoying.
Again, there's a law against that in this country. If you no, when you rent out a house, right, when you got tenants, you can't harass them. You have to let them live in peace. You can't go. You can't just go around. You have to book to go around.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
it's like really hard. Like the Chicago police don't care. At least
Oh,
they're
you know,
like, your landlord's harassing you. What are they doing? Like
do you
seriously?
know,
I don't believe
like
you.
here the courts,
even if
They'd
you
be
own your
like,
own house,
no. Did they got a gun to your head? No. All right, we not coming.
you know,
I,
if you like, if I drove around to my tenants' houses, they could just go straight to court and say I'm being harassed. You know,
It's like
that's
you
how.
can't ask for them. Do you?
you have to
How
tell
many
them you are
houses?
coming.
Yes, in advance. You know,
And
Yeah.
way in advance.
We would just get a text and say, "Oh, we drove by yesterday and we saw this."
No,
Or
no,
yeah,
even no, you can't do it. Really,
that's what we had to deal with. Annie, that's
yeah,
no,
yeah.
but do you know that even if you own your own home, there is also homeowners association, HOA. Do you know
Right.
that? So it depends on where you own your own home. They still come to supervise and find out which part of the estate is not keeping their homes in
Mm,
order.
right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that. We do have it here. So in your own estate, there are some people who are called homeowners association.
right.
So they work for the estate,
You
and they
know,
still supervise though.
so, here we have two types. There's people who work that they're representatives, the
Okay.
tenants rep. That's what they are really. That's what it should be. But like I said, they end up working for the estate, for the owners, for the management company.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not always,
That sounds like a
they're not always
switching
really on
fate.
your, they're not on your side. The
They're
other
really
things we have,
not.
we have people who rattle curtains, they shake curtains. We call them neighborhood watch. They're there to help the police. And when they see things
Wow.
going on, in the neighborhood, they report it to the police, and it could be you that they reported to the police. They don't like what
Oh,
you.
wow.
It can be fun. Look, my friends, I've been up since morning, and Andy doesn't like being up since morning, right? And the
I
first knows my nightmare
know
chicken.
you've had a long day, Annie. I know.
Well,
So
I
look,
eat
I suppose
cigars.
the one thing I was my question to you before we go, my friends. Thank you so much for everyone that's turned up, everyone that's on stage, especially everyone that's shared Vendela as well. I will say a big thank you to her, right? Now, what's your one tip for people who are not homeowners yet? I'll let all of you have one go.
So I would say, Annie, if anyone is listening and desire to be a homeowner, just do your research. Do your research, and don't be
Mm.
discouraged if what you think when you think that you're already ready and you're actually not. It's okay. As long as you get help and someone to guide you through the process, it'll be worth it. It's
Yeah.
not a greater feeling than this, I don't think.
Mm. Yeah, well, for sure. We take that. Thank you so much. Dr. Roxana, what's your one tip for people?
I want to tell the person who wants to own a home but is still working on it. It is better you own your own home, but you can start small depending on what you can start working on your credit history, start working on your start working on the money, because I know that you have to have the down payment depending on the area you are. But it's important when you own the home, you see it's liberating. It's just like you feel so happy that you accomplished that. When you're paying someone as a tenant, well, you don't own anything, because any day you want to leave, you carry your bag and just go empty handed. But if you own a home, you're paying down your house. At the end of maybe 30 years, 15 years, it becomes yours. You don't even know. I mean, it's a piggy bank. Someone said it's a piggy bank. Within a short time, you look at it and see, oh, look at what your mortgage or the savings from your mortgage, you see that you have accomplished a lot. So you start working on it, on your own home. start working on it, savings towards owning your own home. That's what I can tell someone who is planning to buy a house.
I say thank you for that for sure. Again, as you're talking, I'm thinking just to own real piece of land. That's magic, right? Think about it, really. Just to truly own a part of your world, a physical part. And when they go and look anywhere, in the UK, it's called land registry, and they will say, right, this coordinates this size, this exact plot belongs to that person. That's magical. Of course, when you create a home on top of it, that's even better, right? They're thinking that our kids' memories are built on where they live, where they grow up.
Oh yeah, yes.
So,
Mhm.
it's all of that. So I hear you, Michael. I'm coming to you next. I guess I know you know at home, but from what you've taken away from today, what is your main what's your main learning today? What's your main points that you want to leave us with that you've learned today?
Well, from what I've learned, it's kind of like buy early. The earlier the better. Um, but do not rush, because owning a home in the perfect place, location, is very important. You have to take a lot of things into consideration: water damage, maintenance, fires, um, making sure the house is insured, etc., etc. But once you're done doing all that and paying the mortgage and everything, that piece of land or property is yours. That home that's there is yours for a long time, so to speak, 30 years, maybe even your grandchildren or the people that come after you can probably live in that place. It's
No,
something you
hold
can
on,
pass on as an investment.
hold on. Yeah,
Yeah.
when you own a house, it's yours for generations, Michael. It's not just 30 years.
Exactly. Mhm.
It's yours forever.
Yeah, but when you're paying that mortgage, what, it's 30-year mortgage, and then
Yeah.
once you're done and then you own it,
Mm.
then it's yours for generations.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, of course, you're right about the maintenance costs. That is the thing. Michelle says, as the owner, remember when the hot water tank goes or the lawn needs maintenance, it's more than simply owning the structure. You learn the hard way that the repairs and upkeep and surprise expenses are what they are. That's all. That's where you spend money as a homeowner. And again, you mentioned that it's once it's done, it's done. But the maintenance is a lifetime thing. And
And we still pay the taxes. We still
yeah,
pay the
Mm.
taxes
and
yearly.
taxes are
And that
huge.
and that's where I caution people to be careful about that, because taxes go up and down.
Yeah.
And
Um, and you might find yourself in big trouble if the taxes just continue going up and up and up and up.
Mm,
And then you start questioning, okay, did I invest in a proper location?
well, it depends on the kind of rate. Do you have a fixed rate, or do you have the rate
Well,
that fluctuates?
very,
So
that's
very,
why
very,
that's why
very
you're paying
very.
for it. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's
so
what
we
you're
need to
paying for
make
it.
sure we have a fixed rate, or
No,
try to
you,
refinance.
yeah,
Refinance when
and
the
that's where I start cautioning people to make sure they absolutely understand what they're going in for, and that's why I'm saying don't rush into it. Be
yeah,
Mhm.
careful, make
Absolutely.
I
make
agree
proper
with that.
decisions,
Yep.
and at
Do
the
your
same
research.
time
Yes.
get
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take
help,
it easy.
get help,
Start
get
small.
as much help as possible.
Mm.
Hmm.
You see,
Read up, read up.
see,
Uh-huh.
I'm
Good
not
advice,
sure.
Michael.
I'm not sure there's a perfect place, Michael. I think you have to start. The first house we bought it was okay. It was in a decent place. Second one was dilapidations. It was literally falling down. There was no bathroom, no kitchen. Well, the woman had 5 kids, so we just bought it off her for low money, and now it's come time to sell. It's gone up 5 times its value. So that's where we are today. That's the game, right? Just buy one, invest, put some roots down somewhere. Start somewhere.
Hmm.
Even if it's not right, you can always sell it and upgrade to where you want to be, like a better place and better place and better place.
You know, I
Yeah.
like what Michelle Ramos said. You can
Mm.
get some maybe 2 unit house and live in 1 unit and
Yeah.
rent out the other one.
Yes. Yes.
That
Yeah.
is, yeah, that's a way to economize and
For
make some more
sure.
money.
Mm. Yeah.
Mhm.
For sure. Joni, talk to us. What's your biggest tip?
Okay, so biggest tip is when you get a mortgage, get a fixed rate and get it when the interest rates are low, because that is can kill you in those payments. And because my interest rate is at a 3.5, that's not available anymore. So when the interest rates are low, that's the time to strike, because right now people don't want to buy houses because it's stupid. It's like it's so much stupid money you're paying in
Mhm.
interest.
Yeah.
And also, there are so many federal programs here that people do not know about that can help you get a home. And so if you find that little spot of land and like move a structure on there, I don't know, a shed, it can be called a home. You can get financing for that. And that can be your plot of land. So really do your research on finding like the best programs, because I mean, for my first home, when I uh, did all of it was, I put $5,000 down, and that was a lot for me. And I made a little money off that home, and then I made a little money off the next home, a little money off the third home. And so but it is nice to just know that in the event of emergency, like, totally lose a job or, whatever, that I do have roots where I have money, and that it is a safe feeling, especially as a single woman. But really, like, make sure you have a kind of like a little savings towards it. So, put $5 in Bitcoin every day. I don't know, and just do it. I'm not saying that Bitcoin's right. I'm so not a stock person, but I'm just saying, like, do something so that you can save up at least $5,000, and then start looking at the government programs, because for first-time home owner buyers, like, they have a lot of options, and
Mhm.
you're gonna
Thank,
hate it.
thank you. Look,
Good
again,
advice. Good advice, Junie.
That's
yeah.
good.
So Michelle's speaking truth again. For the banks, there's a massive difference between paying rent on a lease or having a mortgage. A mortgage is more damaging. Not really. Mortgage is never damaging. As if you're paying it off, it's never damaging.
Well, it's
You know.
dependent on a debt to income ratio, right? So
Yeah.
if you have this huge mortgage and then you're making $60,000 a year and you have a $600,000 mortgage, that's not going to look great, and that
No.
does
But,
affect your
you
credit.
see, but
But
the value
paying,
of your property will
what's
pay
that?
off in the end. Knowing that when the bank knows that you have a £600,000 asset, they look at you very differently.
But
I
that's
don't
if you
know if
can
my
pay.
bank gives a shit
That's if
about
you can
me.
pay. If you can pay the
Very
rent.
good. Yeah, if you're paying the mortgage, it's never a bad thing. It's never a bad,
No,
never.
if you pay it on time,
Yes,
that's fine, but it is a debt to income. So get a place that you can at least afford.
Affordable.
I agree. I
Right.
agree. I
I
agree. I
totally do.
agree.
Yes. You don't want
I
to be
agree.
struggling paying for your mortgage and then
Yeah,
you can't pay for it in foreclosure and all that stuff. You don't want to get there.
foreclosure is
Yeah.
never,
Okay,
no,
don't go into
foreclosure is not an
foreclosure.
option. Yeah,
Mhm.
Bring
the
that
numbers
RV
don't work.
on a piece of land. Do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, hubby thinks about that too.
That's structural.
Yeah, you
Well,
can
no,
get an
Nail
RV.
it down into the ground, and you're like, "It's my
buy the
house now."
land. Buy the land.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, we get
I
it.
don't know
That's
Well,
about
small
RV.
thing.
essentially, if for the government programs, you need a structure. But I think there's so many workarounds. So be a little like thrifty.
You see, I think look. Here's my big tip for anyone who cares to listen to me.
We are listening, Annie.
I said, like, look, buy that garage. Don't buy a flat. An apartment. It's not your land. Think about it. A flat. We call them flats here, right? If you own an apartment in a block, the landlord, someone owns the land underneath that apartment. It's not you.
Right.
So always invest in land with coordinates that are yours, right? Really, that's my. And if you buy a flat, you end up paying ground rent in the UK. Yeah, you end up paying the landlord every year because you're on their land.
Right.
No, I've never bought a flat. No, I've never bought houses because I like to. No, I like corner houses as well. Corner plots because you have a big garden and you can just you got stuff. It's always buy a house. That's my number one tip to everyone. But as Jonas said, even if that's a garage, buy the garage. No, and turn it into a property.
Small to start, and then you can get bigger. But I mean, honestly, don't want to overwhelm yourself. It's make sure you can pay for that car note and whatever.
You see,
And also your lawyer to get your property taxes down lower because that
there's a reason why we have 6 topics in the Verse book. Because I think as Joni, as you're saying, right?
I didn't hear what you said.
I didn't say. I said like what you're saying is simply what we believe, which is get your life in order. Play the right games, the games of life. They're in this book, right? And
Yeah.
homelessness is one of them. Marriage is another one. I'm saying all the things we talked about. Parenthood is another one, right?
Yeah.
Play the game seriously. Take your life seriously because your time is
And
going. Right?
guys, if you're 43 like me and don't have your shit together, that's okay too. That's
Not
okay.
now.
I'll
Not
still be your
now.
friend. I'm okay with you not having your shit together. Okay.
But you can play, get this book for when the time comes.
You just
What are
have
you
to
talking about?
stay in the
Plenty
game,
people don't have
Joni.
their shit
Yeah.
together.
You just have
Joni,
to stay in the game.
Jonathan,
Just hang in there. Don't give up.
Not giving up.
play the game. Play the right games. Put
Just
your
do
money
your
in the
best.
right
Just do
places.
your best.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes you cannot.
Exactly.
Sometimes you can't be in the
I'm
game
trying
when
to
you are not
focus
safe.
on just one goal. It doesn't have to overwhelm you. Like if you're really want to have a child, like you focus on that. Like
Right.
to figure out how to save for a home and a child, like that's a lot.
Yep, you go at your own pace, Joni. Everybody's race is different, so you go at your own pace. Run your way.
Go your
Everyone
own
does
pace.
As long as you keep it moving, it's not about the speed. As long
My
as you just
20s
stay
were
moving.
like, yo, I gotta get a job, I gotta get a house,
Do
I
what
gotta
you
get
can
a
do.
baby.
No, you don't want to get overwhelmed. No, not at all.
Yes, don't have to be overwhelmed with all those things so
40s
you
were
can do
not.
them.
40s, I do not give a shit. I'm like, I own my house, I have my dogs, I have my kids, and that's about how I feel right now. Like I know how to cook. So
Michelle, you got a revelation, huh? You don't get the land and the apartment sits on it.
Yeah, that's well, that's what I think Annie said that, but
Right.
no, you don't. That's I mean, when I owned apartments, no. You had to pay for the building, but no. We couldn't just blow up the building and just sit on our land. I know that's a ridiculous thing to say.
you have to
I know what you mean, Joni. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's impossible. You cannot all own the land. The landlord, the owner owns the land. You own the building. Dead right. That's exactly it. You know,
Some
look,
huge broker who owns like a lot of square footage in whatever city you're living in. They own it through their company. It's not yours.
You know, my friend, I said, Laverne, thank you for another great topic. So we've got one
Thank
more
you.
before your book launch day. Yay.
Thank you, Laverne.
Thank you, everyone,
Congratulations.
for being here. I appreciate your presence. You made this conversation much more interesting.
Congratulations.
I'm so glad I was able to come.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone in the audience. Michelle R, Michelle B, thank you so much for being here. Karen, Lady J, I see you as well. Thank you so much. Everyone spent their time with us, of course. Alex, thank you.
Yes.
Michael, thank you for coming to share. Thank you for your honesty as well. As I said, I would appreciate you adding the human dimension to our conversations. Have I missed anyone? I'm trying to see. No, look, do connect with, whoever you feel like connecting with. Go to the comments. Lillian, I forgot to mention Lillian again, right? Look, go to the comments.
Thank you, everyone, thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Laverne. Thank you, Annie, for inviting me. I appreciate you all.
Awesome. Where's your new book, Dr. Roxana?
Okay, the book. Let me just show you. Can I show you? It's right here.
Okay, go ahead.
It's right here in front of me. Okay, I brought it the other day. I was so happy. Innovations in Education Technology.
I'm waiting for mine. Yeah, it looks good.
It should be there today. I think I saw that. Yeah. Innovations in Education. This is my newest book.
Grabbed it. I got it.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you see it?
Yeah. We see it. We see it.
So, Innovations in Education Technology. So this is my newest book.
How many books do you have now, Roxana?
3.
Well, I have 3 that are published. I still have about 6 that are not.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one anthology, 2 of Dr. Roxana's books. The one about building family wealth, and this one's about technology. Next one is about the one I'm working on now. It's about passive income.
Passive income, yes.
Wonderful.
55 ways to build passive income.
Yeah.
And make money while you sleep. That's
right.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
I did want to
that is the goal.
Yeah.
Go, Joni.
I just want to tell Michael, it's just not too late. It's not too late. You can figure it out, and don't feel down on yourself because it didn't happen earlier. Because gosh, we all have had frustrating moments, and
oh yeah,
you are gonna do really well with getting a home, but just keep at it and look for those government programs, honestly, for loans. They are there and they are underutilized.
They really are. Linda, Lisa, I almost forgot you. Like Christy as well. Thank you so much, everyone who joined us. Look, do join us again next week. I'm gonna go find some food to eat.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Laverne. Congratulations.
Look, go in the comments and do engage, and then do connect with people there as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Dr. Roxana, you're absolute stars. Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you so much.
Yep, gonna go find a show to watch. Bye.
Every step forward is a new beat to your drum.